Electricast.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
The kids are still at practice, and I have no idea what's for dinner.
You can get a rotisserie chicken and 2 sides for just $15 in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Who said that? Who's in my house? Don't play with me, because I'm not the one.
It's just your friendly Walmart announcer. This is a commercial.
Oh, okay. You were saying dinner for a family was just $15?
Yep, it'll be at your door by the time you get the kids home from practice. Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Subject to availability, restrictions, and fees apply.
Now that was a helpful commercial.
Gentlemen, last Saturday evening we had the shared and lucky opportunity to remember the reason we watch mixed martial arts and sports in general. We got to witness greatness. Israel Adesanya took his honor in his hands and risked it all in a display of guts and a chance at glory the likes of which we haven't seen in quite some time. Despite all the talk of his opponent having his number, defeating him at every turn, being an unkillable opponent, more monster than man, the voices didn't get in. The only voice that Izzy heard in his head was his own when he climbed the unclimbable mountain, felled the unfellable tree. In short, my friends, Israel Adesanya arrived in Miami, Florida last Saturday to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and it turns out, well, he was all out of gum. This is Check My Oil on Missing the Point. I have Matt Wilcox, I have Ben Peake, and we're here to talk about that Muhammad Ali shit that Israel Adesanya did last Saturday night, as well as go around the rest of the fights and discuss our highs, our lows. We're gonna go ahead and not talk about my betting successes or lack thereof, because I did not have a good weekend last weekend. In fact, I may be retired from gambling altogether forever. Matt did okay, I think. And Ben's not really a gambling man, but will give out free advice. So Matt, I think my first question to you is that the fight of the year so far? Is that the knockout of the year so far? And what happens now? What happens with Israel Adesanya now? Because everything seems to be pointing in the direction of, I guess they're not going to fight again. They're kind of 1-1 in MMA, but I guess they're not going to do it again. Peirera's just going to go to 205. That storyline's over. Okay. I guess I get it. It's for me though. It's like, if there's still a chance either guy could win and the fights are tied up, I'd like to see it again, but I guess it's good for all parties. So what happens now, Matt? And was that your fight of the year?
So I think, it's a little early because it's only 2023, but I think that was the fight of the decade.
So far. Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go fight of the decade.
Knockout.
Playing possum to the most dangerous striker the middleweight has ever. Middle class.
Jesus,
the most
dangerous man.
Oh no!
That the proletariat.
Oh no! TikTok's gonna be so mean to me again.
The most dangerous man. God. A working class family could hope to achieve in sending to combat sports. Listen to me, Ben.
It's funny because I don't think Alex Pereira was ever middle class by any means. I think he was from a village, but
that kind of stuff,
do it.
Stuff's important to you, man. I don't know.
You can just stop right. You can just stop right here.
I just to come in with the game plan against Pereira that I'm going to open up to some damage to wait for him to drop that hand is just, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I was listening to Eugene Berman, his Izzy's coach, talk about the fear that they had going into the fight, knowing that the plan was you're going to try and bait him with that left. It's just crazy. It's the craziest thing I've seen in a long time. As far as the fight not happening again, I'm going to, I kind of agree. Pereira didn't earn his first title fight. It was given to him by Izzy because there was a storyline to play. He came in, fought 3 real fighters, and was just kind of gifted this spot. I kind of agree with not doing the rematch right now. I think we're going to get a rematch eventually. I don't think there's any chance that Pereira and Adesanya don't run that back at some point. But an immediate, I don't know. I don't think he's earned it yet. I don't think Pereira has earned it yet. But yeah, that's my fight of the decade so far. It was my favorite thing I've ever seen. And I think we should just launch right into the talk about taunting the child afterwards because, oh, my, so
I liked it.
delicious.
I liked it. I genuinely liked it.
I
thought
loved
it was
it. It's just so earnest of Izzy to stand up there and go, man, I'm petty, huh? I'm real petty.
Well, I thought he sort of owned it. If he was going to do it, he's like, oh, I thought about that for like a good, like
really
almost 10 years. And I'm going to do it. Ben, is there any truth to the idea that he was playing possum and his plan was actually to let a guy that has knocked him out cold and a guy that has technical knocked him out in an MMA fight? Was that really the plan? Are we sure?
Man, I've watched that replay a few times now, and it gets more and more difficult for me to accept that was playing possum. Because, man, Pereira was going in for the kill there, and when he does, it's usually the end. Izzy looked like he was getting hit with some hard shots. And if the goal was to play possum, damn, what a fuck. And like he really drug that out to the end of the line. I thought that was about to be it for him. But we saw those moments of greatness in the first UFC fight of theirs when he was throwing the jab, pulling the hand down, and then he struck over the top with the right hand, nearly knocked him out there. If that round had continued, for my money, I think Pereira would have been done. But
in the first fight, it was like the first round, right? Or the first round where he clips him, he wobbles him, kind of like he wobbles him in the knockout in the second MMA fight. But then he doesn't have time to follow up. The round ends. Yeah. He looked like he was about to go away on that. I mean, he was handily winning the first fight as well. I think to Matt's point about not deserving like another fight, I think if anyone was going to make that argument, it's like, well, he was also getting his ass whooped in the first fight before he knocked him out, and then he got knocked out. So
yeah, Izzy was doing a great job of attacking from above, which is a difficult thing to do when you're either shorter or of equal height. But Pereira's hands are so low, even when he hits pads, his hands are low. It just looks like he has total confidence in his chin or power. But Izzy's overhand right caught him both times, and this time he just was able to put him out. To answer your question, I'm not sold. Now that I've talked myself through it, I'm not sold that was the game.
Me neither. The first punch looked like a Hail Mary to me. Like it looked like he was like trying to just maybe slide off the cage and get out of there and like punch his way out. I mean, it's been basically your best bet as a boxer since 1902 to, just punch your way out of danger when you're up against the ropes. There's been like a lot of like phantom punch talk, like as he was like phantom punch, like Muhammad Ali. Now I did say that he needed to do some Muhammad Ali shit because it was, the storylines did match up Rumble in the Jungle style. It's like the George Foreman is a monster. No man alive can ever beat George Foreman. George Foreman will take you out of your boots. Like there was this like sort of boogeyman vibe going into his against his opponent, right? Phantom punch, I'm not sure because it traveled from Tallahassee all the way around the bend in Kansas City to meet us there in Miami. So I'm not sure what phantom punch we're fucking talking about. What I will say, and I think Israel Adesanya is amazing for this sport. I truly do, and I think that was a moment for a great champion and a moment that you see not replicated too often. A situation like that, I thought the chips were stacked against him a little bit. I think that the what was on the line for his legacy and like what the where does he go question we were asking on the preview show, and I also will give him credit for something that I've been complaining a lot about in MMA recently. The killer instinct to throw that second shot when he gets him, and this might lend itself to the argument that he meant the first one, but when he hits him, before Pereira can even look back and like kind of see what's going on, the next one's coming down the pipe. And I think what really separates good fighters from great fighters in today's mixed martial arts scene is their ability to finish. Guys all up the card were stunning their opponents and not putting them away. I always said like, not to again bring up Conor McGregor, but if there was certain holes in his game that you can make arguments for, the thing that I always thought he was absolutely elite at was if he smelled blood in the water, he would put his opponents away. He did that 100 times out of 100 when he was given that opportunity. Izzy did that same thing. So I love that for him. It's a fucking hell of a highlight. I'm excited to see Peirera at 205. But Matt, now what happens with Izzy? Because now we're back in that, like, that whole storyline made him exciting again. You know, it felt very, I mean, to speak to the WWE aspect of this whole merger, but it made it very like, he's kind of a stale champion. What do we do with him? Let's introduce this monster that he has to defeat.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, this Arthurian legend that they sort of crafted for him, or crafted organically out of him. I mean,
Yeah, kind of.
but or crafted, well, it came about organically in his career. What happens now? What happens now?
So I think there's only two options here. I think that as you look down the card, fighters 1 through 5, he's beaten almost all of them twice. Some of them, it would be a third, or I think one of them 3 times, right? So there's 2 people left in this little league of his that are ready for a fight. One of them being a guy that we all hate in Sean Strickland because he's a human trash can. And the other being the guy that he wants to drag his carcass across Africa, and that's Duplessis. Dricius Duplessis ranked
Okay,
number
so
6.
that's way more interesting to me.
Yeah.
The idea, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but the idea of fighting the guy that didn't earn the title shot after the last guy that you just fought, like his sort of the third place guy, if you will, like those 2 fought for a chance to fight Izzy. Peirera wins, Peirera beats Izzy. The rest is history. For it to just go roll it back for Strickland, I don't know. Duplessis, we've talked about before on this show. It's more interesting, but I don't know.
Stylistically, it's an interesting fight. Duplessis has fought nobody. Like really, really, it's not a strong.
It's a big jump. It's a big jump.
And that's what Izzy said. Izzy said, you have to show me something. Go beat somebody. So if I'm Duplessis and I've already pissed off all of the African fighters by claiming I'm the only African fighter on the card.
There's some apartheid vibes on that guy though, because any white South African has a grandpa who was at the bare minimum problematic. Like, like you can't wash that fucking stink off you. It was too recently. It was too fucking recently.
Dude.
So and it was charged. Like they're back and forth. They're sort of like they're like Izzy doesn't mention his name and then he comes back. Like this stuff is already getting the juices flowing for this fight. I think Izzy would take him apart, but then the narrative is interesting at the very least, because there's a little bit of that in it. There's a little bit of that in the mix, the ointment, So listen, I do agree.
I just want to say this just so we're understood. I listened to Dricius explain himself what he meant by he's the only African that's in Africa, coming from Africa, training, whatever. Dude, your 23andMe would say you're from Belgium and France. Shut the fuck up. How's that? How's that? It's such a bad, and you know what? I don't love creating a fight card based off of this. What are we doing? What is this, Invictus round 2? Like, it's just gross, but I really would love to see Izzy just.
I hate the idea. I find it morally reprehensible, and I would love to see it.
But let's take a look.
I felt that way about the sort of crowd shots on Saturday. It was like I feel like I've seen about 30 to 35 small clips of people taking like selfie videos, like various like either prominent celebrities or like not at all prominent celebrities, like being sort of in the mix at that party. And that just was not a party I would want to be at. To be quite honest with you, there was like a lot of, like, I just didn't love the guest list.
Did you see Cowboy's shirt that he was wearing?
Yeah. And Cowboy, they drag his fucking corpse out for every show now just to like cut to him. And he's like,
he looks great on steroids though.
That's his.
Yeah. No. Dude, Cowboy's jacked.
That guy on steroids.
Pumped up.
Maybe my favorite like combination knockout of all time. Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
So
Wait, against who?
I forget. I was just trying to think of who the fuck it was that he
Ricky Story.
Was it? It was like on a McGregor card. I think it might have been the Aldo card. And he
not like, Ricky Story. The jab to the head, right to the body, right.
And he like folds him over and he fucking kicks him in the head.
Yeah, that was Ricky,
so
the horror story.
Oh wow, he lived up to his name.
That hat makes you so wise.
Ben's gonna sell some E in Ibiza. So yeah, I mean, look, it's interesting again at middleweight. There isn't a ton of prospects there, unfortunately. And Peirera going up to 205, I think, is my overall point, is a little bit of a miss. I think he could go win the 205 belt though. Like quite like Jamal Hill. I think he could beat that guy.
Who do you want to see him fight first?
Straight to the title shot. He was just the champion at 185. Fuck it. Who cares? If that's what we're gonna peg him as, we're just gonna give him a cudgel and have him go like knock champions off their perch and not give a shit if he gets fucking beat back once they game plan for him. Like, great. I love that. I love that character. He's like the Undertaker of the UFC. So that Gilbert Burns Jorge Masvidal fight was a little bit of a letdown. There was some juice and drama after the fact where Gilbert Burns was like 100%, man, you fucking would have had moisturizer on or whatever, and Jorge Masvidal was like, I don't play that shit. I was a little, I guess I was happy enough for Masvidal to get like, he didn't get sent out on a fucking stretcher. You know what I mean? Like I thought he was gonna get fucking murked. I was happy enough not to see him like have to retire in a very devastating fashion. Obviously, the bizarre Donald Trump rant to end his career, notwithstanding. But
Can't even vote.
yeah, it's bad. But honorable enough, I suppose, entering the cage. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. But Gilbert, Ben, he should have performed better. We were all talking about how ridiculous it is that Kobe was getting this title shot over him or over Bilal Muhammad or whatever. But you know what? Like, Kobe, he fucking puts asses in seats, man. And Gilbert Burns was given the opportunity to fight one of the most exciting guys in the history of the sport, and he kind of just like held him and beat him up, which was probably the smart play. But I think he should have taken a few more risks. Am I crazy to say that as a pro in your head? It's
no. I think you really got to put it down when you get the opportunity like that. Even if you're going to go out on your shield, go out on your shield. You're at the big show. Throw down a bit more. And what I noted, Gilbert looked a little stiff and uncomfortable at first. He looked like he didn't actually trust himself to beat Masvidal standing up.
Did he give him too much respect on the I think he had too much respect for his stand-up.
Yeah.
I think he could bang with Masvidal if that's what he was training. Obviously it wasn't, but
well, as we saw the fight start to go on, he did get more comfortable and he started to open up a bit more, but his game plan was definitely more control than beating the hell out of him, getting him out of there. He wanted to control him up against the cage, take him down, so on and so forth. But Masvidal was looking old in there. Like, only a 2-year age difference, but the miles were obviously really wearing on him. The gap in competition time. I think
the head movement used to be elite. It wasn't elite anymore.
No longer a student of the pool noodle. I'd have to guess. And you got to pick up on that when you're a pro. When you're at the top, like Gilbert Burns is, and you're getting those shots, man, you have to be adapting as the fight goes on. And he started to pick up the pace a bit. But when you can tell that Masvidal is trying to survive, not knock you out, pick it up, man. Throw some bombs.
Yeah, you got to take the risk. I mean, I still do think Jorge has like the ability to knock somebody out, at any given moment. But I also think it's like, just trust your defense and just try to put on a show, because Matt, you're a lawyer. He didn't make much of a fucking case for what we were all saying was the truth, which is he should be the next title. He should be getting the next title fight at welterweight. But it looks like it's going to be Kobe. And honestly, that's hard to argue with now.
No, it kind of is. And, I've heard more and more. Now that I hear all the things that happened behind the scenes, like Kobe accepted 3 fights that were all denied, Burns might have been one of them. After you see that fight, I kind of would rather watch Kobe fight Leon. I think it's a really bad matchup for Leon style-wise. I think 5 rounds.
So was Kamaru Usman.
Oh, that's a good point. Like, Kamaru fought him like a coward. Kobe is just dumb enough to execute his game plan, and I think he's gonna wear him out. I'm getting more and more excited for Kobe Covington fight. Against, but yeah, I was really, God, Gilbert Burns looked scared on his feet. He literally looked afraid until he was sure that Masvidal didn't have it. And even then it wasn't great. I was disappointed by the fight. I did bet it correctly and I told people how to bet it, but yeah, it's nice to see Jorge leave though. I'm kind of I'm all set with his antics.
I'm all Jorge'd out myself.
I'm Jorge'd out.
Thank Christ from his perspective, he threw that fucking flying knee against Ben Askren. That set him up for life. That fucking flying knee set him up for life. He would have been scraping by as a former pro, as a journeyman, trying to figure out what he was going to do with the rest of his life. Not everybody's Ben. Not everybody can also learn to code. I don't see Jorge Masvidal learning how to fucking code anytime soon. All right, it's not on the docket. So for his sake and for his family, I'm glad he didn't get too hurt in there. I'm glad the damage over the course of the career was minimal. He always had good defense. He provided us a lot of exciting moments. I do hope he's actually retired though. Matt, you fucking should have listened to me about Rob Font guy. Oh my God. That dude came in and did his thing, buddy. He fucking knocked that kid out. Why didn't you listen to me about the old time? I mean, I know once we came around to the fact that he was from Leominster, I did sort of admit I thought he was going to lose, but he performed. It was a really good performance.
Yeah,
And honestly, if I had read the tea leaves on the card itself a little bit better, um, a young up and coming guy getting smacked down by a more veteran, smarter fighter was a theme that was rampant across this whole card. So that's what happened. I think that Yanez is a good fighter. I think he'll be back. But good for Rob Font, right?
Great for Rob Font.
Not good for you.
Not good for me. You know, I don't want our fans, our oil checkers, to lose faith in me. I make dumb bets all the time. You're gonna have to just.
They're called the butt pluggers, Matt.
Are they the butt pluggers?
Yeah, the official title is the butt pluggers. Actually,
We can workshop that later, Ben. So,
Ben Pekin, the butt pluggers. Hello, San Dimas.
You know what? Rob Font looked great. He really, I mean, it was an awesome thing to see, even though I wasn't pulling for it. I think we saw a lot of young fighters try and step up in competition this card, and they just weren't ready. They weren't.
None of them.
None of them were.
I backed them all too.
I know, me too.
Ben, what did Yanez do wrong in there? Was it a lack of experience, or is he just not as good of a fighter?
I just didn't think he had it. I think Rob comes from, as much as I like to talk a little bit of smack about Sityodtong, they produced, as far as Massachusetts goes, the most successful top performers in MMA. When you think about what's the other guy's name? I fought on his card before. Who got beat by Max Holloway?
Calvin Cater.
Yeah, Calvin Cater. However the hell you say it. Whenever I interacted with him again, I fought on his. He owns a promotion in New Hampshire. I fought on that years and years ago. Nice guy, very talented. He was fighting when I was fighting MMA as well, and then took some time off, came back and really improved. Rob seems to kind of taken the same route. They have very crisp, very sharp boxing, and he was just the veteran that night. Adrian looked like he was a little bit more wild. When I was seeing him get touched, I was seeing his punches windmill. When Rob was touching him and making him miss with his punches, those punches looked like they were going everywhere. And you got to be sharper than that, especially at the lower weight classes, man. With a sharp guy like Rob Font, they're so quick. You don't have the time to make those mistakes. So credit where credit's due to Sityodtong and Rob Font and whatnot.
Sounds painful as you say it. What was I wanted to actually ask you on air what the context of your Instagram story was today, because you put up a thing about the Boston Marathon bombing, and then you said you trained with someone that was. What happened there?
Oh yeah, so Tamerlan trained out of Wycrow, and so I first met Tamerlan when he came to Worcester to
Wait,
spar.
hold on. Which one was he?
The older
Tamerlan
brother
was the older brother who got killed.
Oh shit! You knew that guy?
Yeah, dude, we had some wars.
That's cool. You couldn't have like talked to him. You couldn't have done something to stop it.
Don't leave it in.
No, that's fucked up. No, that's fucked up. I'm gonna leave that in, but that's fucked up.
Take
What's
that
that's
out.
crazy. I didn't
Take
know
that
you
out
had-
or I quit.
I didn't know you fought that guy.
No, so at the time that was probably, so I was around 17, 18 at the time. When I first met him, and he came down, and I won't say any names, but he came down to Worcester and he beat the shit out of some fucking kids that were considered some of the best boxers in Worcester at the time, around his weight class. Then he was training at Y Crew, with Crew John over there. And again, what always stands out to me is how talented he was for a heavyweight. He was beating the hell out of everybody that he was fighting. Man, as time started to go on there, he left for a little while, came back around maybe, I think it was 2012 or something. So this would have been after after he killed Brendan. So him and Ibrahim, who was later killed during questioning, they do believe that they committed that triple murder in Watertown. That was before he left. He came back and he was essentially what they assume is fully radicalized.
Mm.
Man, when he came back to the gym, he was a different person. He wasn't really interested anymore. I will say, I just want to take the time to say the kid, Ibrahim, who they killed, and I know there was a lot of questioning around how that went down because he was being questioned by FBI agents and then was killed during questioning. That dude was a fucking psychopath. There's a lot of questions that go into how did that happen? What did he lunge at the FBI officers with? Like, what actually caused them to shoot him? I totally believe that he did something. There's a friend of mine who I've recently reconnected with out here in Brooklyn, John Karam. He's a little bit older. He's like 38 right now. Was training with Ibrahim one day, tapped him out. Ibrahim went and got a broom handle, broke it, and came back to beat the shit out of John for tapping him in the gym. That's what happens. Dude, I was totally twisted. Yeah. I still remember how shocking it was to see their faces and just like, be like, wow, I can't believe all this. Never met the younger one.
He went to UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah.
I'm told.
Yeah. So what the hell did he couldn't talk to him?
He roomed with Dad.
We were supposed to talk the next day. They had me penciled in. It's the fucking, you miss these things by margins so slim, you know? Wow. That was an interesting story. I guess I'm going to go watch that Netflix doc on the Boston Marathon as a free plug for those fuckers. That's good. Cause I haven't fired up my Netflix in a while. Ooh, yeah. Not looking good over there. All right. Analog's too thin, you know? No. Okay. Well, it was very interesting. I was engrossed. I was hanging on your every word. And the lesson of the whole story is why do you have new friends? I'm not into that. I can't believe I never knew that story. Moving on to Kevin Holland and Santiago Ponzinibbio. Holland looked good. I mean, he got the job done. It's still, he's one of these guys that floats in between fight. He can't fight the best of the best, but he will crush the best of the rest. So where is he? I'm not 100% sure I believe how much he gives a shit, which sort of, I mean, maybe that's just his personality. I don't know. And I didn't want to put any money on him. I did end up putting money on him and losing money because I was, just throwing good money after bad money at that point.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to put it, I lost it because it was a parlay with that fucking Raul Rojas kid. We'll get there. But I didn't want to put any money on him in the first place because that hand. And I mean, he didn't really even fucking throw the goddamn thing for a little bit either. And he obviously wasn't ready. And it's like, that's just it. Like, it seems brave, but it's just irresponsible management of your own career. If you're going to go in there and be like, fine, I'll just get ragdolled by Hamza. I don't even give a shit. Like, let's do it. I'll take any fight anytime. And it's like, I know a lot of guys say that, but like, your health is going to determine how much money you make in your career, Kevin. Like, be smarter. Who are the people around him? His people need to get smarter because he could have lost that fight going in with an injury like that. And his hand looked like shit after the fight. So, and you could fuck your hand up forever.
Well, Dave, he only got cleared for 4-ounce gloves on March 29th. So, no, what are you doing?
I mean, it's kind of savage. I will admit it's like pretty savage, but it's weird. It's weird. Like we're just talking about the idea of like these fucking people that are crazy, like really out of their fucking minds. Like, you could see him having a psychotic break, right? Like, one day you just hear that Kevin Holland is like on the fucking 101 freeway with like a machete. It's like, oh, he broke. His fucking brain broke eventually. He makes the oddest fucking decisions. It does make him kind of a draw. But I mean,
he does do some cool shit though. Did you hear that story? He stopped an armed robbery.
That's what I'm saying though. It's like that kind of life is unsustainable. That kind of life is not. You're burning the candle at both ends, my friend.
It reeks of John Jones, but without the skill.
Yeah, but I mean, John's just out there hurting himself.
I've always viewed that as a cop out, to be honest. Like,
really? That's interesting.
Yes, I think.
Oh, I see what you mean.
When you grade it on like but he's doing cool shit. That's kind of that like cowboy shit out there is cool. Sure, but then you have like I'm injured and I just don't.
The built-in excuse. You always have the built-in excuse.
BJ Penn used to do that towards the end of his career when people were like, "Dude, if you just were training hard, you would still be amazing." But he would be like, "Oh no, I got totally shit-faced and I'm hungover. I wanted to see how I could fight hungover and all that stuff." Like, man, take it serious.
And he got weird. Then he got weird after he
was
super weird.
They all did.
Yeah, you're right, Ben. There's like a class of fighter where it's almost like it's easier for them to be in the shit than to have the dedication to be great.
Yeah.
Built-in excuses. I mean, you see it in sports all the time. There's a
I
built-in
think
we shouldn't beat this team. We shouldn't be able to beat this team. So like, let's take the out.
because Kevin Holland is supposedly a BJJ black,
Mhm.
but which like, yeah, but like, you see him in there. He's great at the fun stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that you have to work on is the shit. That stuff sucks. While fighting against the cage, getting back up, not getting held down, doing that stuff in training fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really seem like, when you see him in there talking and you're like, oh, that's so cool. He's like talking shit. So I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's trying to make like, because then you see the fight turn into what seems like more of a sparring match. He'll hurt the guy and be like, hey man, you okay? Give him like, he's not that, your opponent isn't going to give you
He's not
that
about
sort.
it. He doesn't have that killer
he's like,
edge.
he's just kind of trying to make it this calm, like they stand at distance, trade 3 shots. The other guy trades 3 shots. They're okay. They make it out comfortable and safe or whatever. Or Kevin knocks him out because his power is fucking ridiculous.
You know, I think, you know what I think why you're hitting the nail on the head? Because I'm remembering him fighting Wonder Boy. And Wonder Boy has this very nice guy image, and he probably is a nice guy, and like, but he's still a top level athlete. And I think he smelled exactly what you're talking about. And when he started to put it on Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland had this like, come on, man, I thought we were, I thought we were buddies kind of reaction. And Wonder Boy was like, no, bro, this is like, A, this is my bag. B, like, I'm not trying to get fucking knocked unconscious because I'm not fucking trying hard enough. And like, C, I'm good enough to do this to most people. So like, and then it's like, it was a reminder. It was like, you know, you can have these athletes, and I often get swayed by athleticism. I think because of my main like background is in watching all the other sports. And I am so often swayed by the idea that a guy is just like bigger and stronger. But it actually means so fucking little if their technical skills are even one iota farther apart than they need to be for like that to go away. You know what I mean? Like if a guy is just technically like that percentage point better, that big, strong at that level. I mean, these are diminishing returns as you get higher and higher in the elite levels of this sport. But like Wonder Boy was just like, I've fought a bunch of 5-round fights. Like, here we are. You know what I mean? Like I've just fought a bunch of main events. Like, let's see what you got. And it just got mean. He got mean in there. He was throwing shit with bad intentions on it. Cause I think he smelled exactly what you're talking about. And honestly, I wouldn't put my fucking money anywhere near Kevin Holland ever again, because I just think I think that's what it is. It's something's not quite right in the mentality. Matt, am I wrong? Am I way off?
You're completely right. You're completely right.
It's actually Ben's point, so I shouldn't even say am I wrong.
You guys are both hitting the nail on the head, and it makes me respect people like Stephen Thompson so much more. Even though he's like one of my least favorite fighters to watch, he gives a shit day in and day out. He loses really bad fights. He wins really close fights. And Kevin Holland's goofing around. He's just goofing around, getting into fights.
That's the thing, right? It's like it's probably a lot of fun if you look at it a certain way. Showing up to Vegas that week, you know, checking into the hotel with your boys, fucking, yeah, it sucks, gotta cut like some more weight, but like whatever, we're used to that. That's just a mental game. Like, I think what sucks is when you're like not Conor McGregor or Jorge Masvidal or whatever, you don't really go around being famous, like as a Kevin Holland, like outside of like these fight weeks. You know, you get all this attention and all this stuff. I mean, this is a hypothetical, this is a theory, I should say. But it makes me think like, you got to do all that work in the shadows. You know, I know it's a cliche, but you got to do all that work behind closed doors in the dark, like that, like what Ben's talking about, all the shit where it's like, it sucks to fucking have to try to get up when there's a 500-pound fucking Russian on top of you in training. It sucks to like grind. It sucks to get up every day for really no reward because you're not even getting a fucking payday from training like 99.9% of the time, unless you like fucking own the gym or whatever. Like you're working towards your payday, but that's all the work. The fun part, you could look at it like that's fight week. You know what I mean? It's like, then you're going in to do what you do and like put on a show. Is that something you've experienced, Ben? I mean, like I would imagine to really be good at it, you have to try to learn to love training, but like, I'm sure you've come up against guys that just like didn't train hard enough and like were really talented. And maybe they're seduced by that a little bit. Cause like the fighting part, there's probably fun parts.
I remember I watched Ben fight a kid that clearly had almost no training. He was just basing his fact off that he was just a big kid. He didn't even make weight. And Ben just taught him a thing or two about wrestling in a cage. It was awesome to see. And Ben looked like he was 14 at the time. And I think he was like 23. So, you know.
No, I was 19. If that was at the Palladium.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was 19.
That kid had no idea what he was walking into.
I mean, so the thing is, I love training. And that's why I'm still doing it today, despite, I don't get paid for it. I'm not looking to compete anymore, but I do love that aspect of training. There are aspects of training though in fight camp when it does start to suck. Um, and I can see if you're doing it for a paycheck, how easily it becomes a thing that you don't want to do. And you just want to be famous. You want to get your face out there. You want to be doing media day so that you can, dude, if I tell you every single one of these fighters would jump at the opportunity to do something else for a living, you better fucking believe it. And Kevin Holland, I think, is just one of those guys who's a little bit more in your face about his feelings. He doesn't think twice about it. This guy would love to go do something else and not have to be in the ship for fucking 8 weeks at a time, making weight, wrestling, going in there to fight. Like, the fight is fun for the most part, but you have to do the shit that sucks, to quote Joe Rogan, unfortunately. And I mean, I'm not sure Kevin Holland is going to hit. I don't think the longevity will be there for that reason.
Especially as the sport gets more and more elite, as it gets more and more popular, what happens? Like, new generations of fighters come in. It's a good
to think that there's fighters on the same card like Holland and then Joe Pyfer, who knows exactly who his next fight is, who the fight after that's going to be if he wins or loses. It's like they're polar opposites. The Kevin Hollands will not last long.
Yeah. And you hear you hear stories only told to you by the commentators some of the time about what these guys are going through outside of the cage. And you don't want to assume with the Kevin Hollands of the world either, but it's like, you can have a bunch of crazy shit happen to you in life. And like, if you have a regular job, a normal person job, you can like probably find a way to like compartmentalize and get through it. But if you're in fight camp, like, and so much of what's going to happen on fight day is down to your mentality, and like what what you have to give on fight day is down to what you were able to build up in fight camp. And like, the littlest things can throw it off. Like, the littlest fucking things can fuck you up. And like, your last training session might have sucked worse than the day before that. And like, that gets into your head. These are fine margins at the top. And the more elite the sport gets, the more eyeballs are on it, the more kids per generation are going to join it. I mean, it's a great transition to this Raul Rosas Jr. kid. This kid's an MMA guy, like it's so many of the early adopters of this sport, and so much of the idea of the UFC promotion early on was, what's the best fighting style? This guy's elite at this one thing. This guy's elite at this other one thing. This guy's elite at this other one thing. Then everybody had to learn jiu-jitsu or you were fucked. And then everybody had to learn how to stuff takedowns or take people down or whatever. And now you're having like these all-rounders, these 18-year-old kids that were born when like fucking BJ Penn was like, coming up in the combat sports world. And it's like, it seems to happen really quickly. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is, because these margins are so fine, the jump of a Paul Rosas Jr. fighting a Christian Rodriguez and coming in with a game plan to just swarm him was fucking idiotic. Like, it was so stupid. Like, I feel like I knew right away. I was like, because it was also a theme on the card. The very fucking first fight on the card, those two girls fought, Amarim and Sam Hughes. And Amarim did the same thing. She tried to fucking choke her out really early. She burned her arms out, and that was it. It was all over. She just had to get stalked then for the rest of the fights. Exactly what happened to Rosas Jr. Got bumped up to the main card because of the fucking cancellation, because of what's his knuckles that we just shit on, Chase Sherman, pulled out, like, shocking. But yeah, I mean, the kid's 18, and it's my own fault for losing money on him, because like, what do you expect? Ben, Sean O'Malley's advice, I don't know if you read this or not, was fuck off for 2 years. Just go away for 2 years and get good. Go get good. You're good. You're super talented. Go get good though. Like, get really good. Get that actual grown man strength, because I think that was like a little bit of the difference. Do you concur?
Yeah, Ben, do you think he's better served in like Bellator at this point?
I mean, yeah, but he's here. Yeah, so what are you going to do? He's in here. He's got to take the time, and he's got to get stronger, and he's got to get more comfortable on the feet, man, because when things didn't go his way, you can't be fucking shooting for takedowns across the cage.
Shots.
Holy shit. That looked fucking terrible. And
that makes me want the referee to just call it when they're shooting that, when they're clearly that tired. It's like, let's just be done, because he's going to get himself hurt. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
took an L too. It's like,
But the thing is, he is 18, and man, towards the end, it really did look like a man fighting a boy.
right.
And 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 that will speak a little bit to Christian Rodriguez's skill, because Paul Rosas did come out and kind of put it to him for a
He
few
just
minutes
remained
there.
very calm though. He remained
Yeah.
very, very
But,
calm.
but yeah, no, he took it, he rode out the fire, and then he just had his way with him. And man, the kid needs to stop believing his own hype. That looks to me like somebody who has bought into what everybody tells him about himself. Get out, get away from the family training you, man. Whenever I fucking hear that, I'm like, that sucks. If it's your parents or your mom or whoever it is in your corner and shit like that, man, that person that's not the best person for you to be learning from. You need to have somebody who has a neutral opinion on your success.
Absolutely.
And go get stronger, go get more comfortable with your stand up, come back and take it slowly, man. Don't rush it. But we've been 18. I was 18. I was 19 when I was fighting. I remember my first ever kickboxing.
You said
match,
it you said it on the preview. I asked you this exact question on the preview. I was like, what goes on in your head when you're 19 and there's hype around you? Because there was when you were 19. I remember very clearly. I remember how people talked to you and talked about you. And you were like, yeah, dude, you feel like you can run through anybody. And that's exactly what we saw. He just couldn't.
He was the Prince of Worcester.
But you so believe it, and no one can tell you anything. You have to learn that hard lesson. And I'm hoping this was the hardest lesson that Paul has to learn to get back into the gym and just spend some time training, and not an actual career changing ass whooping.
It's ponds, right? It's like every pond you're in. I just think you got to look around. It's like, okay, I was the biggest fish in this pond, and then, oh shit, okay, like I'm going to have to change up some things to compete in this one. Any success I've ever garnered in my life has come with like my ass hanging out in the wind. You know what I mean? You have to to your point about his family, like you got to get away from people that are going to save you if you fuck up, like they're really going to tell you that everything's okay and you're going to be all right. Like you have to hear dissenting opinions. There's a place for people that support you in your life, but like on the job, I really believe you should be going out there and like just riding solo and forging your own team and forging the people like around you so that you can do it as well. I can only hope it doesn't hurt his confidence too badly, in the long run.
Yeah.
I just think you were going
I
to
do
tell a
like-
story about kickboxing, though. I actually do want to hear that story. Sorry.
Yeah, I do want to hear it too.
Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Talking about
so so this was way before then. This was when, I don't know if you guys remember this, when I drove down to Akron, Ohio for my first ever actual competition, kickboxing. Man, I went in there and I was nervous as fuck, but I had been a boy fighting men for a while at this time. But I was a kid, and I won the first fight against another kid. But this was weight class based. So then I went in and I ended up fighting. If you guys remember, I ended up getting a silver medal. They awarded medals. I got a gold medal for one type of sparring, and then I got a silver medal for this other kind of competition. And I was so convinced after the first fight. I was so high on myself. I was like, I think I'm going to run through everybody here, because it's like it's going to be just like. In my head, all you have to draw on is the experience. I was like, wow, this next fight is going to go just like this last fight went.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just from the depth of experience that I had, which was very low at the time. And so then I went into the second fight, and I fought a man at however old I was, 14, 15. And they should have never let that happen, number one.
I mean, this might be wildly inaccurate. I'm taking even those like crazy Muay Thai kids from Thailand. I'm not losing a fight to a 14-year-old. Like, dude, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to fucking find a way. Like, no way, dude.
It's funny. I see that all the time, and I hear the argument from people. Oh, well, it's a weight class. And sure. But
there's 170 pounds of man, and there's 170 pounds of boy. Like they're just it's just more dense.
there comes a time when I remember I was watching this kid fight who was like 8 or 12, like I think he was like 12 years old in Thailand or something like that. Skinny Turkish kid.
Those
And he
little
looks
kids are they're legit though.
yeah, yeah.
It's crazy what they put those fucking kids through.
But and he was beating up a man, a guy who looked like he was in his either late 20s or 30s. And I was like, they're just not showing the whole fight right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Like it has to get to a point when the guy's just like, I can't let this get hit. Anyway.
There's a sense of personal pride that you have to sort of react to. But yeah, I hope he does come back. I think
he will.
that the whatever Rocky Dennis disease he has, for him to like be like a spokesperson and an advocate for that across the
Oh God, he's so
world of
fucking ugly.
combat sports, I think is,
Jesus Christ.
dude, it's bad. I for somebody who doesn't watch the sport, you get used to stuff. And I've seen his face a lot because I watch the sport. I get on a podcast to talk about it. I talk about it with you guys all the time. I really enjoy it. So I've seen this kid fight a couple of times. That you get used to his fucking weird, like melted Jay Leno looking fucking face. But my brother and my dad came over to watch the fight on Saturday, and they were like, "What the fuck is wrong with that kid's face?" I don't. If it actually is genuinely like a medical condition, I do apologize. But
So uncalled for. I think I love the kid. I think he's going to end up fixing this. I would love to see him with a coach like what's his name, Neil Mellinson, like the Black Zillions. Teach him all the shit he doesn't know. Make
they're
him
not a thing anymore.
But they still are kind of.
I mean, I guess they kind of are.
Neil Mellinson's still running him. I don't know.
It's kind of weird though, isn't it? Because like all the Black Zillions were good.
They're
Like,
all
that
great.
been like the greatest team that was ever assembled, but like,
They're all well-rounded fighters, all of them.
Yeah.
Like that's what that kid needs.
Yeah, I do think is a team change to Ben's original point. Like, go to somewhere like, go get lost in the sauce at American Top Team for like 2 years. Like, just
Go
go
learn what you
go
don't
there, and
know.
just fight fucking everybody that's at that gym. Like wrestle with the best wrestlers. Like, what's great about that place in my mind is like, yeah, there's probably like a selling point to a more boutique, like elite gym. Like, I think the like amount of American Kickboxing Academy guys to like that are elite to compared to how many they have is like a very small margin. But like American Top Team has tons of fucking guys down there that you can just always fucking mix it up with. Like I bet you can just walk into that place. It's like the fucking Mall of America every day. You can just go pick out what you want to do, And I think that for a kid as good as he is at the age that he is, he should just go live that life for 2 years. And you don't have to stay there. I don't think that there's loyalty and there's things that go into the sport and there's certain situations where coaches know fighters well enough where you should stick with that coach and they can augment your game and it's a long-term plan and that's great. But I don't think there's any shame in bouncing around gyms, to be quite honest with you. I think that especially if you're trying to learn stuff that isn't as readily or elitely, if elitely is a word, available where you are. I mean, look at Cody Garbrandt. He got better when he left that fucking terrible Sacramento retired skateboarder gym. But anyway, God, that was a bummer about Chris Curtis and Kevin Gastelum. I thought it swung Gastelum's way because of that headbutt that wasn't called.
Yeah.
And you got to put a replay situation in there for that because like that's why he went down. You got to let him shake the cobwebs off in a
Fucking
situation
bullshit.
like that, man. Right?
But I will say this: the way Chris Curtis has continued to just cry his little eyes out about
He
it
is
has
annoying
made
as a
me-
human.
Oh, I care so much less. I was so on his team, and now I'm like, dude,
It was
shut
just
up.
such a bummer to hear that it was a headbutt because he had swallowed some real shots.
Yeah.
And he really was showing like a chin. And he also, I think he has elite boxing defense. I think the way he was rolling with certain punches, people were like the fucking commentators, you think they'd watched this fucking sport or participated in him before. Oh, and then you'd watch it back and he was just rolling. He just rolled with the fucking punch. You're like, he's fine. Or like it tips off his fucking shoulder first, like on a small margin and eliminates all the fucking velocity behind the punch. That's perfect boxing defense. And that's really, really hard to do with 4-ounce gloves. Like that's just a fact, right? So watching him do that, I thought he was winning the fight because that's what I was seeing. I did not have any faith that the judges were seeing it the way I was seeing it. But I was like, I don't know, man. Like Kevin Gastelum's head is hanging there like a fucking piñata, ready to get hit. And Curtis is rolling. And like Ben said a couple of shows ago, damage has to like accrue. That will sway the judges that there was a cut on Chris Curtis, but I just thought his punches were better. You can't knock out Kevin Gastelum. That's not possible. So you have to factor that in. I agree that he is being a fucking crybaby about it. I would be pissed too. Ben, what's your opinion on the actual official rule there? I mean, you got to get out of there, right? You got to give him like 5 minutes to recover, like a groin shot, same, almost worse.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be able to take the full 5 minutes when a foul like that happens. That's why the referee
Sucks
exists.
they
That's
didn't
why
know
the,
this. That
that's
happened
why
to
the
you,
rules.
didn't that happen to you? Or you got a nut shot?
I've gotten nut shots before, and I've hit in the net. Supposed to. Like it's you
I
got to
thought you
take the
I
time.
thought you got a headbutt or something that like fucked up a fight of yours.
You did. Yeah.
He can't remember. The headbutt was too hard.
You didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Didn't the kid lean into you and cut your eye during a Muay Thai fight or something?
Yeah, that's right. I remember this because
He's
like
been hit a lot,
I
folks.
watched like a live stream. It you got hit with a headbutt and they stopped it because of the cut.
Yeah. But
Oh,
buggers,
oh,
he's
oh,
been hit a
okay.
lot. So it's
Yeah.
Can we start a
Yeah.
second podcast where we just take edibles and listen to Ben tell fight stories?
That's what this is. I'm high on edibles right now. What do you think we're doing here?
Yeah. No, that was that was
That was a hard one. Just to bounce through, to finish up and bounce through the rest of this card. The Michelle Watterson Peirera fight was fine. I
I
think
thought she got robbed.
way. Yeah, I thought it could have gone either way. I thought Watterson probably edged it, but I kind of knew they weren't going to give it to her. Kind of a bummer for her. Don't know what she does now. The Joe Pyfer knockout was really good. I was sitting on a live bet, ready to bet Mearshart if it made it to the second round. I was gonna bet the money line on him if whatever it was, if it made it to the second round. Pyfer went in for the kill and he put him away. I mean, Mearshart's fighting style is he really puts the shart in Mearshart as far as like, it gives you fucking squeaky bum time when you're watching him fight if you got any money on him, because his plan every fight is literally to be like, I'm just gonna get hit a bunch in the first and then it's smooth sailing from there. And it's like not a good plan when a guy's really hard and good at
There's
hitting.
no way they can do this.
I mean, it's like Homer when he when he becomes a boxer and then eventually has to fight the Drederick Tatum, the Mike Tyson composite. It's like Homer, he's not gonna get tired.
Actually, Gerard, you can't this up, bud. Man, he looked fun. That knockout was.
I mean, I don't want to take anything.
He
away
looked
from
done
Joe.
though. He looked like kind of finished and a little
Oh.
disinterested. And I didn't love his body language as a doctor in body language. I mean, he was just like, all right, I'm out of here. Fuck this. Payday.
Yeah.
I needed that
Yeah.
150 to put into my like various portfolio. Maybe he's handling that money well, and he's just gonna ride off into the sunset. I have no fucking clue, but
They never are. They never. They never are.
I just made some savvy investments with my show money, and now I don't have to get punched in the fucking skull anymore. It's like, nah.
I
I'm
think-
42 and I gotta lace them up again.
I think the only one I've ever heard of was what's the kid's name from
Connor
Massachusetts? who
McGregor.
had a computer science. Well, that's not really the same.
No, you're right.
Christ's
You're
sake.
right. Not the same
Um,
situation.
But yeah, nobody ever does well. They make $30,000. They're on the top of the world, and
Yeah.
then a month later, the $30,000 is gone. They're teaching fucking seminars. It never goes well.
Never
Don't
goes
do it.
well.
Motherfuckers, don't pursue it.
Yeah.
God.
Don't get punched in the face for a living. Take it from Ben. Last thing I wanted to touch on. Did you guys see that interview with Sam Hughes, the lady that fought very, very first fight on the early prelims? I don't know if you guys are tuned in yet, but I guess she in her post-fight press conference was like, I'm just happy because my boyfriend said he put $1,000 on me to win. And you can literally see like the people like around her be like, bitch, are you fucking serious? And then like the journalist is like, oh yeah, he put $1,000, like just goes in for the kill. He's like, oh yeah, he put $1,000 on you to win. Your boyfriend put $1,000 on you to win. He bet on you to win money. And did he win the money? Did he get the money? And like she was just like, I guess he's gonna have to take me out to a fancy dinner now. And it's like, that's illegal.
I bet it came from your bank account too, huh? Dumbass.
Yeah. Well, we have a joint bank account. What's the big deal? It's like, no, my friend, you can't do that. So I don't know. We might not hear from her for a bit because it's not like it's going to be a massive loss in the talent pool. Anyway, I'm a little bitter if I'm being honest because, quite frankly, she made money.
They shouldn't be there in the first place. I agree. Edit it out. Edit it out.
Leave it in. Greg, leave it in.
Very quickly, I'm producing this one. Thank you. Very quickly, Max Holloway, Arnold Allen. If you were trying to make back your losses, if you were me, you're trying to make back your losses on one big bet. Does Max still got it? No, no.
Nope.
How good is this Arnold Allen kid?
He's persistent. He kind of has what was the weird Mormon kid's name? High volume, no skill. Sage Northcutt.
Oh yeah, he's Mormon.
Yeah, wicked Mormon. Like has like 12 brothers and sisters.
Sister wives.
I don't know.
Cool. I should rewatch.
No, but-
he just beat Calvin.
Yeah.
Who Max beat pretty handily. Beat him in the second.
Beat Dan Hooker, but a lot of people are doing that lately.
Yeah. Beat Dan Hooker. You give me money.
I think Holloway's run into that same problem that your boy what's his name, Cooey has run into. I think it's just like age. Eventually, you're just.
I
not
don't
as
agree.
fast.
I honestly don't agree. I think this is the exact same thing that you said about fucking Rob Font. And when you compare resumes, I'm looking at fucking who Arnold Allen's beaten.
Dude.
Jorge Rinaldi, Gilbert Melendez.
I'm
Nick
100% with you on this one, Dave. I think Max is going to take this. I think Max.
Who did
still
Max
got
just
that.
lose to? Fucking Alexander Volkanovski? Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. And it was not close. I will agree that like that last fight, Volkanovski like went up another level and Max maybe decreased another level, but no, Max has got this. Come on. We have to believe in the old guard. These are my people. The Max.
Dude,
Holloway,
it's
the Tony
crazy that
Fergusons of
he's the
world.
old guard. I remember his first fight in the UFC when everyone was talking about how young he was, and he got beat by Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier was Max's first fight in the UFC, and
He fought
he
Connor,
beat
and
the
Connor
shit-
like wrestled him because he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Good for him for
Yeah.
having the career that he had. Couple other good fights on that card. Edson Barbosa's fighting.
Yes.
He'll always lose.
Always.
He'll always lose for you when you need him to.
Yep.
He just
Yeah.
will. I
Good
love his
fun
kicks;
fighter.
they're fun, but he's gonna lose again.
He's got a fast kick, not a hard.
Yeah, it's
kick.
fast,
Let me
but
just
I've never
throw that
seen it
out.
really. I mean, I know he's knocked a couple guys out with it, but like not the elite guys. Once he hit a couple of those elite guys full force with that kick, and they were like, "No, sir,
Yeah.
no, that's not gonna work around here." And Clay Guida's fighting on that card, who was always a ton of fun to watch get knocked out. All right. That was fun. I really enjoyed last weekend's card. I really do think we are spoiled with these pay-per-views, and it does make me even somewhat forgive Dana for brushing up against fascists. Thank you guys so much for coming on to the show. We said some maybe controversial shit here today, and I'm gonna leave it all in. So for myself, for Ben Peake, and for Matt Wilcox, this has been and always will be Check My OL.
Hi, I'm Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. What did you do on your last Saturday night?
Did you hear something?
Toilet paper.
There's none. Nada. The reserves have gone dry. People are hoarding it. I should have done that.
They're all out of hand sanitizer at my Target.
Mark, when did you last watch the news?
We are getting reports of forced quarantines in China, Japan, and now Italy.
You're cutting onions in half and putting them around your apartment.
Yes, exactly. It kills the COVID.
Excuse me?
Let's go. Let's go. Get in.
Vamos, rápido!
Have you ever driven one of these?
Never.
I'll drive, ladies.
I've got the keys.
Excuse me, I'm lost. I'm looking for my wife. I got turned around.
Join me, Eric Roberts, Jennifer Elise Cox, and Ed Asner for The Last Saturday Night, an Electrocast podcast. You'll love it. Electrocast. Electrocast.